Welcome to week 6 of Homestead Frugal Living Tips. Tip number 1, make your own laundry soap and hang your clothes out on a clothesline. Here are some clips from my mother-in-law talking about her laundry process. She's always had a wringer washing machine, never modernized, and never owned a dryer. And then it drains out, I guess.
That's my tub. And I catch the clothes in over here.
That's the only washing machine you've ever used? You've never had a modern one?
Oh no, I've never, other than going to the store. I mean, I've been to the laundromat a time or two.
Have you ever had a dryer?
Never had a dryer. Never had a dryer.
Really? You're the only one in America.
Oh, I doubt it.
I can remember when you were washing diapers in that old wash pot with firewood under it.
Yeah.
That was in the 50s.
Yeah. They're your diapers. I didn't remember it.
As Manina and Rowena's diapers, the ones I remember.
Can't remember y'all.
No. But then we had to haul that water from the tank, or either had to haul it from the cotton gin. The cotton gin gave everybody free water.
Yeah.
Also, in the description box last week, I left an energy use calculator, so you want to make sure and you can see how much your dryer is costing you. Now, laundry soap is something that I make. You can also buy them, but I make them just a zero, where there's no excess fat in them, where they're just zero super fatted. Just look up soap making and it's real easy. But mine are basically either coconut and lye, or coconut oil and lye, or either lard. So easy, and just pennies a bar. And you know, that's a very inexpensive way, because I read that the average American spends $180 through $600 per year on laundry soap.
Tip number 2 is change your own oil in your own vehicles. I have did a little research on some oil changes. It ranges pretty drastic from small towns to large towns, from $20 to $40 labor on your oil change, and $50, $60 for the oil and the filters. I did some research at Walmart. You can buy a gallon of oil at Walmart for $24. The filter costs anywhere from $10 to $15, depending on what your car is. Of course, that's based on a 4-quart oil change on some of these cars. I know my pickup takes 12 quarts, so that's substantially more. But anyway, you could be saving as much as $50 on one oil change on one vehicle. All you got to do is learn how to check your oil in your rear end, check your oil in your transmission, look at the water levels on your radiator, and that's about it. Know how many hours that your tractor run, or how many miles your car ran before you change. So that could be a big saving if you've got a lot of vehicles.
Right. Tip number 3, review and understand your property taxes. Now, I think a lot of the younger new homeowners that are wanting to move to homesteads, I think it is so important that you do your research first, because there's, to homestead a property and to get the agricultural, benefit there's a lot of restrictions. One thing we recently ran into is if a property had not been in agricultural use, it had to go 5 years before it could start that
Right.
status. And that is significant, a lot, more money to pay 5 years of like high taxes.
Yeah.
And I think it's worth your time to definitely, especially, study the county that you're moving to, so you understand the whole process.
Right. Don't just take it at your valuation and decide to pay whatever they say, because you can go down and
You can protest.
protest it, and we have done that and taken it down there several times just individually without the protest, and got a lot of deductions just doing that.
But one thing is, the taxes are definitely going up, and when you buy a homestead, it's not just your house payment. You have probably a lot of taxes in your future. So that's what we look at as we project, 10, 20 years. What is that going to look like? But I definitely can assure you it's not going down. I know that in the area that we live in, it's been, in the last couple of years, in the hill country, it's been just significant. Don't
Right.
you think? It's been like
Property tax, yeah.
people are going to have to sell their properties over it. Like, it's tripling. And so you want to make sure you understand and that you look and research, right? So,
Right.
Okay, tip number 4.
All right. Yeah. This is a biggie, and you really have to ponder over it or study it a little bit on what you really want to do, but strive to live debt-free.
Right.
Especially in one area is credit cards. Never had a credit card that I used much, and so when I was, I don't know, almost 60 years old, I had to apply for a credit card. And only could get $250 credit on a credit card.
Because you've never
Took
had
me
one.
because I never had one.
But you don't use a credit card now. The
I'd always
Germans
just
typically,
been writing a check.
yeah, they don't believe in that. But next week when we do our final, podcast on this, I have done a lot of this and a lot of planning and debt-free living in my life, and I think it's made
Right.
as far as financial, goals, I think it's made a very large difference in mine. And you do, I know things are expensive at this time, but
Right.
but I think you and I both are just really big on staying out of debt.
I know
right?
sometimes you just absolutely can't help it, but we
pretty much don't.
pretty much
Yeah.
pay our credit card, if we do use it, off every
Oh,
month.
yeah.
We don't have a credit card interest bill.
And we
ever.
already talked about that. We drive an old car, but anyway, we're big on that. We're big on, if you don't have the money to pay for it,
Don't get it.
Don't buy it. So, okay, tip number 5 is check your automatic drafts and subscriptions. So that would be, I take care of that. Mr. Rueffer doesn't do credit cards
I
or
don't do
online,
credit
any kind
cards.
of, you don't even have an email
I
actually.
don't do internet.
No, you don't. And so, but I find all the time, because when we're just modern people, a lot of us pay our bills online, but you really have to check everything every month and itemize. But most people don't, and they'll go years and pay some little $10 fee that they,
Right.
like a hidden fee, and once they have the okay to draft your account, you just really. But I'd say most people don't watch that very close. It just kind of slips by. But definitely worth your time, because even, just say, $10 a month over a year adds up to be a lot of money. Everything does. But I'm meticulous on looking over what's going on with my drafts and
Right.
all of that. So anyway, I hope these tips help you. Next week will be our final week, and I'm planning on sharing with you some of the strategies that I've used well, when I lived in Dallas, how, while I was planning to get out and to move to start a homestead, I'm going to share with you a few of the strategies that work for me. So we will see you next week, and thank you for watching. From our Texas Hill Country farm to you, have a blessed week, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.